So if there's one problem that I think people who really are diehard individuals who really, really, really use analytics as their baseline or how they make decisions, one of the tragic flaws to using that or overcompensating it and using analytics is the guiding light of how you pick talent, how you draft, how you go after free agents, how you scheme, is that sometimes you don't give yourself an opportunity to find somebody that could be special at a position in which you don't truly value. Let me give you an example. There's all kinds of positions today that aren't warranted to be, how we should say, top-notch, high-dollar, in-demand positions in the NFL, right? You know, nobody says that tight ends are going to be, the highest paid people in the league. No one suggests that running backs are a group of people that deserve to be in the top, 10% of the individuals that are earning guaranteed dollars. No one says that you got middle linebackers or outside linebackers that are going to get major guaranteed deals in the league, or safeties for that matter, because they've been devalued. They've been devalued to a point where you're not going to see those individuals. You're not going to see those individuals at first get those big dollars. But sometimes if you don't value those positions and you go into a process of picking players and going about the way you want to view guys, you don't give yourself an opportunity to touch down and get special people. Case in point, Travis Kelce. Kelce is a tight end, and if you looked at him on first glance, or if you had to go back and redraft his position, if people would have known how dominant he was at his position, they would have taken him in the first round, top 10 possibly. However, because he plays a position of tight end, people devalue it. People say, I'm not even going to look at it. I'm not even going to think about that. They have this thought process that if that position is devalued and that you think that you can go find somebody somewhere that can do just as good as he can, but for cheaper and have him under asset for longer, teams have naturally started to do that, which is no big deal in isolation here or there. But when you make blanket statements, that's when I believe you can get into trouble. When I look at that doctrine, I go and I look at the way the Cleveland Browns value the positions, and I think if they don't change the way they perceive certain positions or allocate certain dollars to certain positions, the Browns are going to come up short in this next 2-year window. And I would say more along the lines 2021 rather than 2022. I think I've been preaching all along that the Browns have to capitalize on this next year. And to do so, you have to be able to think outside of the box. And I hate that because it's a cliche. What does outside of the box mean? I hate saying that, but for lack of a better term, you have to be able to think about and analyze and be willing to take a shot or a chance or going to sign somebody that may not be at a position that you traditionally feel aren't franchise level game changers, right? What if the Baltimore Ravens said, that Ray Lewis guy, he's a linebacker. How good can a linebacker be? If the Baltimore Ravens said, that Ed Reed, why would we take Ed Reed? What would we need a safety for? If the Kansas City Chiefs was like, Travis Kelce. Tight ends aren't the focal point of your offense. The hell they ain't. Ask Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid, who's the focal point of that offense? When Kelce is killing you over the middle, it opens up the guys on the outside. It opens up your run game. It opens up the deep ball so people can get deep. And so people can get open. and they can use their speed down the sidelines. But when you go back and look at that tape against Kansas City and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and when they shut down Kelsey, that was all she wrote. And they didn't even really shut him down. He still had a $130 or something. But the reality is they got timely stops, and they had linebackers that were able to cover him one-on-one and match him up in the zone good enough that they were able to get off the field. Usually other teams aren't able to do that. And the reason they're not able to do that is because they don't have linebackers that can cover. Either they're too slow, either they don't have the agility, either they don't have the mental capacity to understand route combinations or where I need to be, what's my landmark, what am I looking at when the ball snaps, not going for ridiculous fakes, not going for, out and ups on 3rd and 16. Why would you go for out and up on 3rd and 16? Let them have the out for 7, but don't get beat deep, because that's the only thing that can beat you. All these things are things that you have to be able to do, and good teams employ those guys at those positions in order to slow down what's going on in this terms of this new NFL. And that brings me to my point with the Cleveland Browns. There's a blog that I did a while ago, and it talks about how Cleveland and the Browns specifically do not value linebackers. And I can argue the reason why the Browns have been terrible for 30 years, yes, it's been the fact that you couldn't get a quarterback. But I could put a close number 2 or a tie for 2 or a close 3 with not being able to have a quarterback, 1, number 2, not having a head coach that's worth a darn, and then this is an underrated reason why the Browns cannot be successful and have not been successful in the past. No linebacker play. No linebacker play whatsoever. Every time we talk about linebackers, we're talking about guys, the DeQuell Jacksons of the world, guys that are making tackles 16, 17 yards down the field. The Christian Kirksey's of the world, the Dwayne Rudds of the world, right? The Robertsons of the world. So like the Scott Fujitas of the world. Can I keep going? Huh? The Willie McGinnises of the world. I'm just saying. Now we fast forward, we got Taki and Phillips and BJ Goodson. Those guys aren't capable of covering guys out the backfield. Those guys aren't capable of covering tight end of the caliber of tight ends that we see in this league today, which are glorified receivers. We know that they're not able to, guard backs out of the backfield, which is a prerequisite for running backs today to catch the football. We understand all these things. So if we understand all these things and they've shown you a track record of doing so, why would you not prioritize your need rather than what your analytics say? Because if you value your analytics more than what the talent level is that you see, you're going to pass up on people that can help your team. You're going to pass up on guys that could be transcendent. You're going to pass up on guys that offer the skill set you need to be successful. I always look at it like this. If you are a person and you like cooking, right? You might not necessarily, own every utensil in the world. If you cook for a living, you got knives, forks, Tupperware, skillets, pans, deep fryers, all that good stuff. But just because you might not think that it's important to have a grill, if you get a cookout and it's the summertime, best believe you're going to be at Lowe's, Home Depot, your Walmart's, Targets, looking for the best grill you can get because the in-laws is coming over. Are you a pit master? No. Do you got the world's famous ribs and pulled pork? No. The reason you went and got the grill is because you understand that that is what is needed to accomplish the cookout or the objective, or you're going to hear from your wife. So you're not doing it because you thought it was a bargain and you got to steal and you enjoy cooking out. And you and your family use it 3 to 4 times a week during the summer and holidays. No, you went out and got it because you knew it was a need. And so you put your need above your own personal opinion about whether or not it's useful. And that's what they got to do when they should be going after somebody that's being linked to the Cleveland Browns. And that's Lavonte David. And that's Lavonte David. Let me go ahead and say it again. That's Lavonte David. Go ahead and watch. And it's all over YouTube. Go over to watch the different things on YouTube and go watch how Lavonte David and Devin White covered all over the field with that speed, with the cover ability, with the ability to play the football, with the ability to pass guys off in the zone and get to another person in the zone. Because all Joe Woods' defense is pretty much a coverage zone. They're going to play in zone. They're not going to play man-to-man. They're looking to do the same thing Seattle did. Cover 2, looked at for linebackers to get real deep coverage like Derek Brooks, real deep coverage, the same way Urlacher used to do it in Lovie Smith's defense and some of those guys. They're looking for guys that can run, get depth, be able to cover, and if it's in the zone coverage, to be able to be fast enough, agile enough to pass off Kelsey if he's moving over here, and then come back and look at Tyreek Hill and give him a little look until Denzel Ward or somebody on the opposite side of the field can catch up. That's what you need. And so even if Mr. Barry and Kevin Stefanski and Dee Podesta, they've already made their mind up that you're not going to spend or allocate this amount of money towards that position, you have to understand something. When you are in a position of need and you are up against the clock, all of the preferences be damned. Go get a guy and begin to build and win. Because let me tell you something. You're not going to win without upgrade. I just want to keep telling you this. I just want to keep telling you this, people. You're not going to win a Super Bowl if the Cleveland Browns do not upgrade 4 positions. End, linebacker, corner, safety, and possibly a defensive tackle. I could even take the defensive tackle over the safety because you got Harrison and he looks like he's going to be able to play. And you already allocated some money to dope it. But I told you yesterday, don't count on that. That's the way you got to do. You got to be aggressive. You can't count on guys with those type of injuries. You got to be aggressive. So if you don't get those positions squared away, if you don't get that done, chalk it up. I don't care how many touchdowns Baker throw for. I don't care what the progression is. I don't care how many yards Nick Chubb and Hunt get. I don't care how many touchdowns. I don't care how many records Baker makes or breaks in the league, or if they go to the playoffs again. They're not going to win a Super Bowl if you do not address these positions. So I want to be crystal clear. So in the event, hopefully this doesn't happen, but in the event that they don't go get anybody and they try to spin this thing as if, we really like our guys that we got now. Don't you pull no Chris Antonetti on me. Don't you do it. Don't pull no Shapiro on me. Don't do it to me. Don't tell me about your farm system and the guys you're developing and the guys you think are going to take the next step and the guys you think are high on. I'm high on this guy because he's in the 3rd round. You got plenty of time to do that when you can't pay no more players. I repeat, you got plenty of time to do that when you ain't got no money to pay all your top flight guys. Talk to me about them development guys in 2023. But from now into 2022, next 2 years, I ain't trying to hear none of that. I'm not trying to hear nothing about no development and charting progress and wait till next year. He's going to be so good. I'm interested in watching him play. He showed great, tremendous steps this year. No, that's all fine and dandy. You come to me at 2023, but as for today, your objective is Lavonte David, Von Miller, a safety of some sort, and going to kick the tires on Gilmore or Marshawn Lattimore. You need 2 out of the 3 off top. If you give me 2 out of the 3, I'll take it. Give me the 2 out of the 3, we'll figure something out. But you better get somebody, and you better start asking yourself, the people that have been perennial powers in this division, what is the common denominator? Baltimore, when they was good, had backers for days. You couldn't run the ball. You couldn't throw the ball. 2000 Ravens, you couldn't do nothing. Jamie Sharper, Sackmaster Terrell Suggs, Ray Lewis, you couldn't do nothing. We're not even going to talk about the Steelers. Steelers had linebackers every single year. Every single year. Lamar Woodley. Keep going. I could go to the greats like Green. I could go to Greg Lloyd. I can go to James Harrison. I can continue Joey Porter. I can keep going on. Linebackers. You go to Cincinnati. Keith Rivers and Ray Maluga was doing their thing. And even Vontaze Burfict, when they was moving, when they were going to the playoffs every single year, 4 or 5 years in a row under Marvin Lewis, what was they doing? It was the linebackers that was intimidating the hell out of people. And you knew it was a problem when you came across the middle. You knew it was going to be a problem every single game against the Bengals. So look around, understand that sometimes you got to just go to the bank and pull that money out. And I'm advocating all of the smoke for Lavonte David because he's exactly what this team needs. He's exactly what this team is missing. And if you can go do that, I think you put the Browns in a position where it's not just we kind of on the fringe of hoping to be in a Super Bowl or making it. I feel you do that, you are in definitely contention. Definitely write it down, take a picture, keep it, put it in the time capsule, and wait till 3022 and let some kids from high school over at Chagrin Falls pick it up and take a look at it. And it says linebacker, defensive end, safety, and corner. Because that's what we need. As always, appreciate you. Hit that notification bell, hit that like button, and please subscribe to the channel. Because here's the thing, realistically speaking, and I don't toot my own horn. I just don't. But there's all kind of people with bad followers, all kind of people. But no one's giving it to you like this. No one's talking that talk like this. And that's because I played the game. I'm around the game. I speak the game. I am the game. So if you want to keep it real and keep adding to this content and supporting this content, please do so. And I truly appreciate you. And don't forget, G Bush Live every Saturday, 7 p.m. Saturdays, and it's a blast. Please check that out. We're going to start having memberships. We're going to start having you, the fans, call in and talk to me. If you don't call my radio show, cool. We're going to give a VIP line out, and you can come talk to me live on G Bush Live. And on Saturday, I got my first guest. We're going to bring my pops in. He's going to sit in that chair right there. We're going to put him in the hot seat, and we're going to talk a little bit. As always, it's your boy G Bush. It's the Barbershop. Peace.